Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. We are at the end of page 215. I forgot to mention in the last episode, the episode on June 7th may or may not have had a guest, depending on what future me does. I may have a guest on that episode. I haven't recorded it yet, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully, yes. Otherwise, you may have just heard me talking. Okay. Let's see. There's probably going to be at least one word that is a disparaging, disrespectful word that we try not to use, or people shouldn't be using it in this episode. Maybe more than one. I'm not sure. We'll see. But let's get into it. The first word is chink. Chink. There are 4 forms of these, but yeah, one of them specifically says usually offensive. So we'll get there. Actually, I guess that would technically be the 5th form, but we'll get there. Okay, first form of chink, noun from 1535. 1, a small cleft, slit, or fissure, as in a chink in the fence. 2, a weak spot that may leave one vulnerable, as in his lawyers found a chink in the law. 3, a narrow beam of light shining through a chink. So like a chink in the fence, maybe that the light is coming through that. This is from probably an alternative of the Middle English chine, I guess you would say chine, which means crack or fissure. Fissure, Fissure. Fissure, however you want to say it. Second form of chink is a transitive verb from 1609, to fill the chinks of, as by caulking, and that as in chink a log cabin. So, when you build a log cabin, I just saw some log cabins yesterday, the wood, there's going to be little spaces left, so you got to fill those up. They are chinks in the wall, and you fill them up by chinking with caulking. I don't know. Couldn't you just say, I'm caulking it? I don't know. Next is the third form of chink, noun from 1573. 1 is archaic. Synonyms are coin and money. 2, a short, sharp sound. A chink. Where did the coin and money come from? Would that be like the sound that they make? The short, sharp sound when the coins hit each other? Or is there some other etymology from that? Don't know. Fourth form of chink is a verb from 1589, starting with intransitive, to make a slight, sharp, metallic sound. And then transitive, to cause, to make a chink. And then this is unofficially the 5th form, but it does have a capital C, so it's not technically another form. It's slightly different spelling. This is a noun from 1887. It is usually offensive, and the synonym is just the word Chinese. So yeah, sometimes you hear people use this, not as much anymore, but there are definitely people who still are using this word and other words like that. That's not cool. That's not nice, because it's not meant to be in a nice way, I don't think. Yeah, just be aware of that. I feel very weird saying that word at all. I had to say it a bunch of times just now, and it's very odd to do that. But the other ones, it's a chink in the fence. But the word comes with a lot of other meanings behind it. Okay, next we have chin music. 2 words. My chin does not make any music. I wish it would. Noun from 1826. 1, idle talk. 2, a usually high inside pitch in baseball, intended to intimidate the batter. Next is chino or chino, Chino, noun from 1943. 1, a usually khaki, cotton, or synthetic fiber twill of the type used for military uniforms. 2 is plural, an article of clothing made of chino. The origin of this is unknown. How is this unknown? Why don't people know where this came from? Next we have chinoiserie or chinoiserie. You can say Shin. Yeah, that's pretty good. There's a few other definitions or a few other pronunciations. It is Chinoiserie. Chinoiserie. This is a noun from 1883, a style in art reflecting Chinese qualities or motifs. Also, an object or decoration in this style. This is a French word, actually, from chinois, which means Chinese, so that would be the French word for Chinese. And yeah, that's that. I don't know what this looks like. Maybe I should find some examples. Next is Chinook or Chinook, capital Chinook, noun from 1795. 1. A member of American Indian people of the North Shore of the Columbia River at its mouth. 2. Gonna lose my place. A Chinookan language of the Chinook and other nearby peoples. 3 would be often not capitalized, so 3A. A warm, moist southwest wind of the coast from Oregon northward. 3B. A warm, dry wind that descends the eastern slopes of the Rocky Mountains. So one of them is a moist wind and the other one is a dry wind. And then number 4 is also not capitalized. We have the synonym Chinook salmon, which we're going to get to shortly. Let's see. This is a lower Chehalis word. Let's see. That is a Silesian language of Western Washington. Lower Chehalis. I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, that's the language, and their word is spelled Cinuk, probably similarly pronounced to Chinook. That is a name of a Chinook village. So that's where the name comes from. Next, we have Chinookan. Chinookan, we just added an AN. Noun from circa 1890, an American Indian language family of Washington and Oregon. Chinookan is also an adjective. Next, we have Chinook jargon, 2 words, noun from 1840, a pidgin language. By the way, pidgin is Pidgin. It's not the bird. A pidgin language based on Chinook and other Indian languages, French and English, and formerly used as a lingua franca in the northwestern U.S. and on the Pacific coast of Canada and Alaska. So it's jargon. It's grabbing little pieces from Chinook and French and English and other things, and it's just jargon. It's not officially from those languages. And I think pidgin language means that it's a language that is taking things from other languages, I believe. All right, here we go with Chinook salmon, 2 words, noun from 1851. A large, commercially important Pacific salmon with red flesh that occurs in the northern Pacific Ocean, called also king salmon. The scientific name, let's see if I can do this one. Oncorhynchus chausicha. All right. It is Oncorhynchus. These are the kinds of things that I should figure out ahead of time, but I don't do that here. And then the second word is Tshawyttscha. Oncorhynchus chausicha. Close enough. There's a picture of a Chinook salmon. It looks like a salmon, and its mouth has sort of a pointy thing at the end. And then our last word is chinkapin. Chinkapin, you could probably also say chinquapin. There's a couple of spellings, CHINQUAPIN or CHINKAPIN. Chinkapin. Noun from 1612. 1. The edible nut of a chinkapin. And then 2. Any of several trees, especially a dwarf chestnut of the U.S. And I don't think this goes on to the second page. No, it does not. Let's see. The genera is Castanea and also Castanopsis. And then the scientific name of the dwarf chestnut is Castanea pumila. This is from probably modified of the Virginia Algonquin word chechinquamin, and that is the chinkapin nut. Okay, so many nuts and trees and foods and fish and other things out there. So we had chink, chin music, chino, chinoiserie, chinook, chinookin, chinook jargon, chinook salmon, and chinkapin. What do I pick? Maybe I shall pick chinoiserie as the word of the episode. It's a fun word. It's also a style of art and decoration, which probably looks cool. Chinoiserie, I'm gonna make my place look like chinoiserie. I don't know. All my songs are the same. I'm not putting much effort into that. All right. So what was your favorite word of the episode? Did you have one? Did you? You can let me know. You can email me at dictionarypod@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at dictionarypod, because that is what we do. All right. What are the holidays for today? No major holidays. I don't believe you. In Finland, it is Autonomy Day of Åland. In Spain, it is Day of the Murcia and La Rioja regions. Let's check this page. Let's update it, because I didn't do that. It is anniversary of the accession of King Abdullah II in Jordan. In, I don't know where this is, but it's Coral Triangle Day. In Uganda, it is National Heroes Day, or Heroes' Day. Let's see. Did I skip? What did I do? Oh, no, I read those. Okay, today, June 9th, it is International Dark and Stormy Day. That is a registered trademark. I think that's the rum. So make a dark and stormy drink. It's also National Donald Duck Day. So go watch some Donald Duck walk around with no pants on. That is all I got for you today. We finished page 215. Another page for the books. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. We are at the top of page 216. The first word is chinkapin oak. Chinquapin. I want to say chinquapin, like a qua, but the last word said chinkapin, so I guess that's what I'll say. This is two words, noun from 1785, either of two chestnut oaks of the eastern U.S., and the scientific name for both of them are Quercus muhlenbergii. There's two I's at the end. How do you say that? Quercus muhlenbergii. And then the other one is Quercus prinoides. Where do these names come from? All right, next we have chin strap penguin. This is two words. Chin strap is one word. Noun from 1936. A penguin with a narrow band of black feathers from ear to ear under its chin that breeds on the Antarctic Peninsula and nearby islands. Called also just chin strap. You don't need to say it's a penguin, because you know it's a penguin. These are super cute animals, and of course I'm going to post a picture of a chin strap penguin. What was that show? I can't remember the name. Anyway, it's the high school kid who's on the autism spectrum, and he loves penguins, and I'm pretty sure he talks about chin strap penguins. I don't know if those are his favorite ones, but yeah. Oh my God, why can I not think of that name? And atypical, I found it. All right, next is chintz, chintz, chintz. Noun from 1614. 1. A printed calico from India. 2. A usually glazed printed cotton fabric. This is from the earlier chintz with an S instead of a Z. This is from Hindi and Urdu. The Hindi word is chit, C-H-I-T, and the Urdu is C-H-I-N-T, chint. We've seen a lot of those recently. For some reason, this section has had a lot of these Hindi and Urdu words. So it's a fabric with a calico pattern. Next is chintzy. So we added a Y. I don't know if this is related to the last one. Looks like part of it might be, but this has a couple definitions. This is an adjective from 1851. 1. Decorated with or as if with chintz. That would be the calico pattern. But then we've got 2A. Synonyms are gaudy and cheap, as in chintzy toys. And then 2B, the synonym is stingy. So what happened? Why is there a relationship between gaudy and cheap and the calico pattern? I can't imagine there would be, but where did this 2A one come from? I don't know. And then chintziness is a noun. Next, we have chin up, 2 words with a hyphen, noun from 1954. The act or an instance of chinning oneself performed especially as a conditioning exercise. The act or an instance of chinning oneself performed especially as a conditioning exercise? Would that be like doing a chin up, like pulling up on a bar and doing a chin up or a pull up? I guess, but the instance of chinning oneself, I guess that would be that. I don't know. That's kind of an odd definition. But yes, I think that's what it is. It's a conditioning exercise. We actually have a pull-up bar here, so I try and do a few every once in a while, but I haven't done any for a while, so I'm losing the ability to do this. All right, next we have chin wag, 2 words with a hyphen, noun from 1879. It is slang, and the synonyms are conversation and chat. We're just having a chin wag. What was the other one that we had in the last one? Chin music. Chin music it's just idle talk. So conversation, chat, chin music, chin wag. Your chin is bouncing up and down because you're talking. All right, here's a fun word. It is kainodoxa. Kainodoxa. Yeah. CHIONODOXA. Kainodoxa. Noun from 1879. We just have the synonym glory of the snow, and that is 4 words with hyphens. Glory of the snow, no clue what that is, but there's a bunch of etymology, so maybe that'll help. It is New Latin. It's a genus name from the Greek kion, which is snow, which is akin to the Greek word kaimon, which is winter. So kion is snow or winter, plus doxa, which is glory. I mean, it's literally right there, glory of the snow. And there's more at the synonyms hibernate and doxology. doxology, doxology. What is that? I guess in a way the etymology helped, but it didn't help me understand what this is. And I've never heard of the phrase glory of the snow. So we shall wait to learn what kainodoxa is. Okay, next is chip, CHIP. I could use some chips. I just love chips. This is the first form. It is a noun from the 14th century. 1A, a small, usually thin and flat piece. A thin and flat piece cut, struck, or flaked off. And it is a piece possibly of wood or stone. You're chipping it off. 1B, a small piece of food, as 1B1, a small thin slice of food, especially the synonym potato chip. We've got 1B2, the synonym is French fry. Yes, some people call French fries chips, like in Australia and England and Ireland and Scotland and other places like that. But we don't call them that here in America. We call them French fries, which also doesn't make nearly as much sense. In fact, chip probably makes more sense. 1B3, a small cone-shaped A cone-shaped bit of food often used for baking, as in, yes, chocolate chips. I would just eat a whole bag of chocolate chips. Number 2, something small, worthless, or trivial. 3A, one of the counters used as a token for money in poker and other games. 3B is plural. The synonym is money, and this is used especially in the phrase in the chips. Oh, we're in the chips now. 3C, something valuable that can be used for advantage in negotiation or trade, as in a bargaining chip. 4, a piece of a piece of dried dung. That is a chip. This is usually used in combination, as in cow chips. Why are they called chips? Do they get flattened? Do they step on them accidentally and they're flattened? That's the only thing I could think of. I don't know. Number 5, a flaw left after a chip has been broken off. You got a chip in your furniture. Where were we? 6A, synonym is integrated circuit. 6B, a small wafer of semiconductor material that forms the base for an integrated circuit. 7, we have the number 1 definition for chip shot, which, we'll see that, I think, in the next episode. Chip shot. Number 8, the synonym is microarray. That's one word, as in DNA chips. Couple of phrases. Chip off the old block. That is a child that resembles his or her parent. I believe I'm a chip off the old block, both of the blocks. Next is chip on one shoulder. It's another phrase, a challenging or belligerent attitude. Any etymology? No, the etymology isn't terribly helpful. Now we have the second form of chip, verb from the 15th century, starting with transitive. 1A, to cut or hew with an edged tool. 1B1, to cut or break from something. And the example of what you are cutting or breaking is, it's a small piece. You're just cutting or breaking a small piece from something. 1B2, to cut or break a fragment from, as in chip a tooth. I actually have a little chip in one of my tooths. 1B3, to cut into chips, as in chip a tree stump. Number 2 is British. We have the synonyms chaff and banter. 3, to hit with backspin. And the example, the way that you're hitting it is, it's a return in tennis. To hit a return in tennis with backspin, you've chipped it over to the other person. Now we have intransitive. 1, to break off into small pieces. To break off in small pieces. 2, to play a chip shot. We have a little more etymology on this one, actually. From Middle English, chippen. From Old English, the suffix, I'm going to assume it's pronounced chippen, give or take, but it is spelled Cippian. That is as in forchipian, which means to cut off. Akin to the Old English chip, Cipp, which is beam, B-E-A-M, from Old High German chipfa, which means stave. Next is chipboard. One word, noun from 1919. A cardboard usually made entirely from waste paper. So it's recycling. You're recycling it to make chipboard. Next is chip in. 2 words. This is it's a verb from 1861, starting with intransitive. 1, synonym is contribute. Or no, contribute. Contribute? Oh, now I don't even know how to say this word. As in, everyone chipped in for the gift. 2, this is chiefly British. The synonym is the number 2 definition for chime in. And then transitive, the synonym is contribute again, as in chip in $5. You got to chip in. Yeah, everybody's got to chip in. Then you make it cheaper for everybody. You got to look at it. You can't be so selfish. You got to look at it as a whole. We're all in this together. All right, next we have chipmunk. It's a chipmunk. You know a chipmunk. Noun from 1832. Any of a genus of small striped North American and Asian rodents of the squirrel family. And the genus name is Tamias. 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 This is an alternative of the earlier word chitmunk. So the T became a P, chitmunk, probably from the Ojibwa word, which I cannot pronounce, which means red squirrel. Here they have it spelled ACITAMO.N ? A chitamon. Something like that. These are great, cute little animals. I actually started feeding some chipmunks down by the beach not too far from where I live, and just little peanuts. And eventually they would sit in my hand and eat the peanuts, and that was very cute. And I have some video. Maybe I'll post a video of one of them eating peanuts from my hand. Okay, where are we? We are now at the word chipotle, a word that a lot of people mispronounce. They say chipotle? Chipotle. That's what they say, chipotle. It is chipotle. You could also say chipotle, chipotle, chipotle. Lots of ways, but you can't switch the L and the T. Chipotle, noun from 1950, a smoked and usually dried jalapeno pepper. Very tasty. It is Mexican Spanish, couple of ways, chipotle or chilpotle, that's where you get the chili part. From the Nahuatl word chilpoctli, from chili, which is chili pepper, and poctli, which is smoke. So it's a smoked pepper. That's where it comes from. Now you know. Yeah, poctli is smoke or something smoked. Awesome. I didn't know that. Next we have chipped beef. I think I said beef. It's not beef, it's beef. Chipped beef, 2 words, noun from 1833. Smoked, dried beef, sliced thin. And our last word, we're going to have a little conversation about this, but I don't know a whole lot about it. This is Chippendale. 1 word, capital Chippendale. So, when you hear that word, usually there's a couple of other things that you think of, but this one I have never heard of. So, this is an adjective from 1876 of or relating to an 18th century English furniture style characterized by graceful outline and often ornate rococo ornamentation. I should probably find a picture of this and post it. This is from Thomas Chippendale. So, as a kid of the 80s, I grew up with the cartoon Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, who were 2 chipmunks, Chip and Dale, and I later learned that they were dressed as Indiana Jones. One of them was dressed as Indiana Jones, and the other one was dressed, I think, as Magnum P.I. in his Hawaiian shirt or something. Anyway, just a fun little reference that the animators put in there. But also, Chip and Dale has a whole other meaning, which is very adult. You know what I'm talking about if you know that. But then, which now makes me think, where did that come from? Did Thomas Chippendale make that? No, I don't think so. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that anymore. So the words today were chinkapin oak, chin strap penguin, chintz, chintzy, chin up, chin wag, kayanokdaxa. Now I don't even know how to say this word. Kayanokdaxa. There we go. Chip, chipboard, chip in, chipmunk, chipotle, chipped beef, and Chippendale. Well, there was a few that I really liked, but I'm going to post pictures about those, like the penguin and the chipmunks. So in that case, I think, I could go with chip. I could just say, I love me some potato chips. They are so bad for you, but so tasty. But I think maybe I'll just pick chipotle as the word of the episode, because they make some tasty food. You put some chipotle in there, some smoked jalapeno peppers, and mix it all in, and it's so good. Chipotle peppers are making your food tasty. I don't know. That was a thing that happened. All right, what are the words? What are the holidays, that we got to talk about? June 10th. According to this, it says there's no major holidays in the U.S., which I don't believe. In Canada, UK, and Portugal, it is Portugal Day. In Romania, it is Orthodox Ascension Day. Let's check this page. What have you got for me? In French Guyana, it is Abolition Day. In Jordan, it is Army Day. Worldwide, it's World Art Nouveau Day. So go learn about Art Nouveau. In Italy, it is Navy Day. In Republic of the Congo, it is Reconciliation Day. And yeah, I guess there are no holidays in the U.S. officially, but maybe we got some fun holidays. June 10th, scroll. It is National Iced Tea Day, so have some iced tea, I guess. That is all I got for you today. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. It's the podcast with the words. Thank you for joining me. Please go rate and review and tell people about this podcast. Share it, subscribe, but definitely write a review. Write a positive review so people can see it on the Apple Podcasts and the other places. Okay, let's talk about the words. The first word is chipper. Chipper, chipper. First form, noun from 1513, one that chips. That's it. It's just one that chips, as in a wood chipper. Every time I think about a wood chipper, I think about the movie Fargo. Next is the second form of chipper, adjective from 1822. The synonym is the number one definition for the word sprightly. Oh, I feel so chipper. This is perhaps an alternative of the English dialect word kipper with a K, which means lively. Next is Chippewa. You could pronounce that a few ways. Chippewa, Chippewa, Chippeway, Chippewa. How many? It's like all the different ways you can say that last syllable. Capital Chippewa, Chippewa. Noun from 1671, and we just have the synonym Ojibwa, Ojibwa. We just saw that in the last episode, which I think was the chipmunk name. Yes, a chipmunk name, possibly from the Ojibwa word, which I can't pronounce. Okay, next is chippy, Chippie, or with a Y, noun from 1886. Ooh, the synonyms are, this is adult, it is tramp or prostitute. They get also called chippies, I guess, but the origin is unknown. Nobody knows where this came from. I guess it was common enough to be put in the book, but also I think has gone away because we don't use it. There is another chippy coming up, but that one looks to be different. Okay, next we have chipping sparrow, 2 words, noun from 1791, a small gray-breasted North American sparrow with a black line through the eye, a white line above it, and in breeding plumage, a red dish. Oh boy, it went over to the second line. I was like, a red dish. No, it's reddish. And in breeding plumage, a reddish patch on the top of the head. This is just from the word chip, which means to cheep. So it's a sparrow that cheeps. I'm pretty sure all of them cheep. Next is, here we go with the other chippy. This is with a Y, adjective from 1898. Aggressively belligerent, as in a chippy hockey player. And then also marked by much fighting, as in a chippy game. So this is from the phrase chip on one's shoulder. So yeah, that makes sense. They're very mad. They fight. They got a chip on their shoulder. They become very chippy. And I think there's a cat who's trying to get into this room, or they're under the bed. I don't know. I'm hearing some sounds, but she can hold off. All right, that was chippy. Next is, so chippy in this case is pretty much the opposite of chipper. Chipper and chippy. Next is chip shot, 2 words, noun from 1909. 1, a short, usually low approach shot in golf that lofts the ball to the green and allows it to roll. It's a low approach shot in golf. Number 2, a short and easy field goal in football. So yeah, I think the idea is it's just chipping. You're just a little hit. You're pretty close to the goal, just smacking it over there. You don't need to put a lot of effort into it, I don't think. All right, next we have, this is a prefix. It is CHIR or CHIRO, Chiro or Kir. I guess it depends on the word that it precedes. But a lot of the rest of the words in this episode are going to start with this prefix. So it just means hand. I actually didn't know that. As in the example, chiropractic. So this is from Greek, kir or kiro. Those are prefixes from kir, which is akin to the Hittite word kesar, Kessar, which means hand. So yeah, I actually surprisingly didn't know that. I go to a chiropractor because my body is falling apart. But we're going to get to more into that later. But next we have chiral, CHIRAL, adjective from 1894, of or relating to a molecule that is not superimposable on its mirror image. Of course. Chirality is a noun. Next is chiral center, 2 words, noun from 1970, an atom, especially in an organic molecule that has 4 unique atoms or groups attached to it. Next is chiro or chiro. Chiro. So it's 2 words with hyphens. The first word is capital CHI, and then the second word is capital RHO. Chiro. I'll say chiro. Noun from 1868. A Christian monogram and symbol formed from the first 2 letters, X and P, of the Greek word for Christ. And then it is called also Christogram. Yes, X and P, those, when you, the Greek letters are chi and rho. So I've not heard of this. I guess now I know it. Next we have Kirikawa. Kirikawa, I think that is how you pronounce it. Capital CHIRICAHUA. Kirikawa. Noun from 1885. A member of an Apache people of Arizona. And this is from Kirikawa Mountains, which are in southeast Arizona. I'm learning about all these new groups of American Indians. Okay, next we have Chirimoya, spelled Chirimoya. This is a variation of Cherimoya with an E instead of the I at the beginning, which we talked about before, and I don't remember what it was, but you can go back and look if you want. Or listen. You can't look at it. You can listen to it. All right, next we have chirk, CHIRK, verb from 1843, just transitive. The synonym is cheer. Yay, we're cheering, we're chirking. As in, play with her and chirk her up a little. Play with her and chirk her up a little. That's a quote from Harriet B. Stowe, Stowe. I don't know where that quote came from, but you can look it up if you want. It is from Middle English, charken or chirkin, which means to creak or chirp. From Old English, kirkian, which means to creak, akin to the Old English krakian, which means to crack. Maybe it's like you make them crack up and laugh. Maybe that's the connection. Otherwise, it's hard for me to figure out. Cheer her up, chirk her up. Next we have chirography, noun from 1631. Number 1, here we go with that hand prefix that we talked about before. The synonyms are handwriting and penmanship. It is chirography. Number 2, we have the number 1 definition for calligraphy. Chirographer is a noun, and chirographic or chirographical, those are adjectives. Next we have chiromancy. Chiro and then mancy, noun from circa 1528. and the synonym is palmistry. Palmistry? Is that palm reading? I don't know. Palmistry. And then chiromancer is a noun. And let's see, it's from the Greek, chir, which we know is hand, from mantia, which means no, that doesn't help me. Mancy, and chir. Okay, next we have chironomid. Chironomid. I wanted to say chiromonid, switch the M and the N, but no, the N comes first. Chironomid, noun from 1915. Any of a family of midges that lack piercing mouth parts. And chironomid is also an adjective. The family name is Chironomidae. Am I confusing you? Probably. Chironomidae. Something like that. This is from Greek chironomos, which is one who gestures with his hands. What is a midge? For some reason I thought it was a bird, but it might not be a bird. What are piercing mouth parts? I don't know. And how that is connected to hands and gesturing, I don't know. All right, next we have chiropody. Is that it? Chiropody. Chiropody. So I believe this might be hand and foot because pod is foot. So let's see. This is a noun from 1886, and the synonym is podiatry. Yes, I think that is the study of the feet, or something like that. Chiropodist is a noun. So this is from chir, the prefix chir, plus pod, which is from its original concern with both hands and feet. So the original podiatrists studied both hands and feet. But now, what is the one who studies the hands? Why, there is a name for that, and I can't think of what it is. And I don't know. But let's talk about our last word, which is chiropractic. chiropractic. Noun from 1898. Have an itch, I'm gonna scratch it, and you're gonna hear it. Okay, this is a system of therapy which holds that disease results from a lack of normal nerve function and which employs manipulation and specific adjustment of body structures as the spinal column, as in holds a current license to practice chiropractic in this state. Chiropractic is an adjective and chiropractor is a noun. So practic is the practice, and they're practicing with their hands. So this is from chir plus the Greek praktikos, which means practical or operative, and there's more at the word practical. I know that there's a lot of, what do I say? Some people don't necessarily believe in this work. They don't think it's as effective as I don't know what I'm saying. It's not as effective as, maybe going to see a medical doctor, a real medical doctor, quote unquote. But I do think it has some benefits. I have definitely noticed some benefits after going there. So, but it's not like I'm going to exclusively see a chiropractor to fix all of my problems. Just like, eating right is going to probably fix a lot of your problems, but there are other things that it can't do. So, I'm going to go see a doctor for that. Eating right is not going to fix a broken bone. So you gotta cover your bases and see all the people to help you with your things. Okay, so we had chipper, Chippewa, chippy, chipping sparrow, chippy, chip shot, chiral center, chiro, that's chirho, Chiricahua, Chirimoya, chirk, chirography, chiromancy, chironomid, chiropody, and chiropractic. Which one do I want to pick? I'm not entirely sure which one was the most interesting, the most fascinating, the one that was my most favorite. Let's see. I'm reading through the things very quickly. I guess let's pick chirk, chirk, as the word of the episode. That's the one where the synonym was cheer. So, bring some chirk into your life. Go chirk somebody up. How would you say that? Chirk, cheer you up, cheer them up, chirk them up. Yes, go do that. Chirk, chirky chirk chirk, I'm gonna cheer you up, and I can also say chirk you up. I'm not putting much effort into this, and I apologize if that is bothering you. All right, so the holidays in Denmark, it is birthday of Prince Henrik. In Belgium, it is birthday of Queen Fabiola. They share a birthday. How sweet. Okay, on this other page, we got Libya is American Evacuation Day. In Brazil, it is Brazilian Navy Commemorative Day. In Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, Canada, it is Davis Day. In Hawaii, here in the U.S., it is Kamehameha Day. And I don't know how to pronounce that. Kamehameha? Kamehameha. That is a fun word to say. It honors Kamehameha the Great, which was the monarch who first established the unified kingdom of Hawaii. Next is in Honduras, it is Student Day. And then do we have any other fun holidays? Trooping the Color. What is that? It shows the troops from Britain. What else do we got? It is National German Chocolate Cake Day. That sounds tasty. It's also National Corn on the Cob Day. So you can have some corn on the cob, and then you can eat some German chocolate cake for dessert. But maybe don't put the corn on the cob in your German chocolate cake, because that might be weird. All right, that is it for this episode. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to rate and review and send me an email, dictionarypod@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram @dictionarypod. Super easy. You can call my Google Voice number, which is in the show notes, and leave me a message, and I would listen to it, and then if I like it, maybe I'll play it in an episode. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. The first word is chiropteran. 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 This is a noun from 1835. The synonym is the third form of the word bat, like the fly bat. Why are bats called chiropterans? This is ultimately from the Greek word cheir, cheir, cheer, I don't know how to pronounce it. That means hand. And then also pteron, or just pteron, which means wing. And there's more at the word feather. I probably said this when we were at the word bat, but yeah, their wings are literally their hands. Their hands and their arms, but mostly their hands. Birds, it's their arm. It's, it's like an elbow and everything. It's their arm. But if you look at a bat's wings, they have, I think, 5 or so, probably between 4 and 6 fingers that make the wing. Their wing is literally their hand, which I think is so fascinating. So yeah, wing and hand and wing, chiropteran. All right, next we have chirp, chirp, first form verb from 1557, to make a chirp or a sound resembling a chirp. That was intransitive. Now we have transitive, to utter with a cheerful liveliness, as in, she chirped good morning. Good morning is in quotes. Okay, so this is not a quote from anybody, supposedly. To utter with a cheerful liveliness. She chirped, good morning. Okay, there we go. Second form of chirp is a noun from circa 1586. The characteristic short, sharp sound, especially of a small bird or insect. Next is chirpy, adjective from 1837. 1. Cheerfully lively, as in a chirpy manner. 2a. Making chirps. 2b. Suggestive of chirping, as in a chirping voice. I don't think I have a chirping voice. Chirpily is an adverb, and chirpiness is a noun. Next is churr, chirr, 2 R's in there, churr, noun from circa 1600. the short, vibrant, or trilled sound characteristic of an insect, as a grasshopper or cicada. Oh, yes. I think the cicadas are just starting to come out. I know that in a lot of parts of the country, here in the U.S., we've got, I think it's breed X, of the 17-year cicadas. So yeah, we're going to start hearing a whole bunch of churs from those guys. And then chur is also an intransitive verb. Next is chirrup. Chirrup. C-H-I-R-R-U-P. Noun from 1722. The synonym is just chirp. It's the same thing. And then chirrup is also an intransitive verb. They just simplified it. Chirrup to chirp. Next is chirrupy. We just added a Y, adjective from 1808, and yes, the synonym is just chirpy. Same thing. Next we have chiru. Chiru. It's pronounced just like it's spelled. C-H-I-R-U. Chiru. Noun from 1825. An antelope, chiefly of the Tibetan plateau, having a pinkish fawn woolly coat and in the male, long, nearly straight horns. I will have to post a picture of this chiru. So the scientific name is Panthalops hogsoni. I love trying to say these words. Panthalops hogsoni. Okay, this is probably of Tibeto-Burman origin. So they named this antelope chiru. Next we have chirurgeon. Chirurgeon. Is that how you say it? It's sort of like surgeon, but we started with a chir, C-H-I-R. So it's a chirurgeon. Chirurgeon. Noun. That's just a fun word to say. Chirurgeon. Noun from the 13th century. And hey, look at this. It is archaic, and the synonym is just surgeon. So they said, we can't say chirurgeon. That's a weird word to say, so we're just going to say surgeon. This is from Middle English chirurgeon, from Anglo-French chirurgien, from chirurgie, which means surgery. So yeah, we just simplified it to surgeon. Next is chisel. Well, actually, let me backtrack a second. Now, the prefix CHIR is hand, so was this... Maybe they thought maybe the word came from they're doing the surgeoning with their hands, so they said, well, we got to get the prefix, we got to get the word hand in there somehow, right? So maybe that's where it came from, and literally maybe they were like, well, this is too hard of a word to say. That's probably not what they thought, but it did get simplified to just surgeon. Went from chirurgeon to surgeon. Okay, next is chisel. CHISEL, first form. Noun from the 14th century. It is a metal tool with a sharpened edge at one end used to chip, carve, or cut into a solid material, as wood, stone, or metal. Let's see, this is from Middle English, Anglo-French, Vulgar Latin, alternative of caecilium or caecellum from the Latin caesus, which is from the verb caedere, which means to cut. That's where the word chisel comes from. Next is the second form of chisel, verb from 1509, starting with transitive. 1. To cut or work with or as if with a chisel. 2. To employ shrewd or unfair practices to employ shrewd or unfair practices on in order to obtain one's end. Also, to obtain by such practices, as in chisel a job. Intransitive. 1. To work with or as if with a chisel. 2a. To employ shrewd or unfair practices. 2b. To thrust oneself, and the synonym is intrude, as in chisel in on a racket. I have thrusted myself into this racket, and I am chiseling my way into it. Chiseler, spelled with one L or two L's, is a noun. I am the chiseler. That would be a weird superhero name. Next we have chiseled, with one L or two L's. Adjective from 1781, formed or crafted as if with a chisel, as in chiseled good looks, also as in a chiseled essay, also as in a chiseled physique. None of those pertain to me. Next we have chi-square, 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 noun from 1900, and the next one is going to be similar too, and they have longish definitions. So, chi-square, a statistic that is a sum of terms, each of which is a quotient obtained by dividing the square of the difference between the observed and theoretical values of a quantity by the theoretical value. And then we have chi-square distribution, which is a noun from circa 1956. This definition is even longer. Can I do it in one breath? Let's find out. A probability density function that gives the distribution of the sum of the squares of a number of independent random variables, each with a normal distribution with zero mean and unit variance, that has the property that the sum of two or more random variables with such a distribution also has one, and that is widely used in testing statistical hypotheses, especially about the theoretical and observed values in a quantity and about population variances and standard deviations. Oh, I had to take a pause because I lost my place. Did that make sense to you? Did the way I reread it help or hurt? It probably hurted you, your brain. All right, let's move on to chit, C-H-I-T. First form, noun from 1578. One is archaic. The synonym is child. You can, if you have a child, you can call them your chit. Or if you are a child, you can say, I'm a chit. Number two, a pert young woman. Okay, that should probably say slang, but it doesn't. This is from Middle English, chit, C-H-I-T-T-E, which means kitten or cub. Second form of chit, noun from 1757. One, a short letter or note, especially a signed voucher of a small debt, as for food. Number two, a small slip of paper with writing on it. And this is another one that comes from Hindi and Urdu. Let's see, the Hindi is C-I-T-T-H-I, chithi, maybe? Chithi. And then the Urdu has the H in there to make it a ch sound. Chithi, I think. Okay, next and last word for this episode is chit-chat. One word, noun from 1605. The synonyms are small talk and gossip. And then chit-chat is also an intransitive verb. Let's chit-chat. There is nobody here but me, so I am chit-chatting with myself. It's, we got the word chat, we're talking, but then I think chit just makes it small. Chit-chat. Yeah. It says it's a reduplication. I think that's what that abbreviation means, a reduplication of chat. Yeah, okay. So, we had chiropterin, chirp, chirpy, chirp, chirrupy, chiru, chirurgeon, chisel, chiseled, chi-square distribution, chit, and chit-chat. Let's see, we got that. Sometimes it's very obvious which one I want to pick as the word of the episode. I think just because I loved the evolution of the word, I'm going to pick chirurgeon as the word of the episode. It starts with a C-H-I, obviously. It's just surgeon. Chirurgeon. If you got a problem with your body, you gotta go see a chirurgeon. That was fun. All right, let's look at the holidays for June 12th. It is World Day Against Child Labor. Is child labor still happening around the world? Yes, it is, but that is why we need to talk about it and make it not happen. Because the childs, we can also say the chits don't need to be working. They need to be chitting. They need to be little chits doing their stuff, learning about the world and playing. You got to be a chit. It's World Day Against Chit Labor. It is also Philippines Independence Day. In the UK, it is Queen's birthday. Is it actually her birthday today? I think it might be. In Russia, it is Russian Day. In Brazil, it is Valentine's Day. In Paraguay, it is Piece of Chaco. Piece of Chaco. I would like a piece of Chaco. Let's see. In Paraguay, Chaco Armistice Day. I think that's the same. Let's see. In Finland, it is Helsinki Day. In Lagos State, it is June 12th commemoration. They're just commemorating this day. In the U.S., it is Loving Day. Now, Loving Day... Oh, Loving versus Virginia struck down all anti-miscegenation laws. Okay, so it's not about loving. It's about... what? Where does the name Loving come from? Who is Loving? Is that their last name? Why is it not showing me? Anyway, I'm not going to delve too deep into that. Let's see. Sorry about the mouth smacks. I'm trying to minimize those. June 12th. Here are the fun holidays. National Rosé Day. The day I'm recording this, it was National Moscato Day. So yes, we're going to probably see a whole bunch of other wine days throughout the year. It is, see, now here it says National Loving Day, and they got a picture of the heart. So are there two? Okay, let's just read this. The holiday is, of course, about spreading love, but ironically, it also references the names of Mildred and Richard Loving, who fought against the laws confining them and everyone else from marrying interracially. Okay. So yes, this is definitely a very good, important thing to celebrate. And yes, ironically, their last name is Loving, and it's all about just love. Love is love. Just don't be mean and hateful. Come on, people. Anyway, so yeah, that's a very good thing. And then lastly, it is National Peanut Butter Cookie Day. Oh man, it's been a long time since I had a peanut butter cookie, and they are so tasty because I like me some peanut butter. All right, I think that's it. I think I said all the things that I have to say, and can I say more? I can. Am I gonna? No, I'm not. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Here we go with the end of page 216. Obviously, I would love it if you wrote me a review on Apple Podcasts, and I think there are other podcast platforms that you might be listening to this on that also have a reviewing system. But for some reason, Apple Podcasts is the one that, has control of everything, and that's really the only one that matters, at least when it comes to reviews. Okay. And please subscribe. We're almost in the 900s. If we get to when we get to 1,000, and if you're not subscribed, you're not gonna get the episode. Supposedly, let's see what happens. We'll find out. That's gonna be a fun surprise. And what else? You can share this and write me a letter and send it to me over snail mail. No, you don't have my address, but I do have an email address. You can send it to there. All right, the first word is chitin, 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 noun from circa 1839. This is a horny polysaccharide, C8H13NO5, and then all of that is in parentheses, and then there's a subscript N, so that, there's possibly more than that, more than just one of that. Anyway, it is this polysaccharide that forms part of the hard outer integument, especially of insects, arachnids, and crustaceans. And chitinous is an adjective. So yeah, this is like their outer layer is made of this chitin. Now we have a similar word which is pronounced the same way, chitin or chiton. So it's Chiton. Chitin and chiton are both fine to say. This is a noun from 1816. Similar but different. 1. Any of a class of elongated bilaterally symmetrical marine mollusks with a dorsal shell of calcareous plates. And I just wonder, are those calcareous plates made of chitin? I don't know. Seems like they would be. And then number 2, the basic garment of ancient Greece worn usually knee-length by men and full-length by women. That one is clearly not related. By the way, the class name of those mollusks is Polyplacophora. Polyplacophora. Some words just exude a song, don't they? Polyplacophora, Polyplacophora. Anyway, this is a genus name from the Greek chiton, which means tunic. Okay, so, well, we'll just finish and then we'll start guessing. Chiton, which means tunic, of Semitic origin, akin to the Hebrew kutaneth, which means tunic. Okay, so here we go. Why? I mean, I get the number 2 definition, it's a tunic, but how is that related to these mollusks? I don't know. Are they wearing tunics? Now I want to see a mollusk wearing a tunic? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to chitter. Chitter. Intransitive verb from the 13th century. The synonyms are twitter and chirp. And then also the synonym chatter. Why that one had to be separated from the other two, I'm not sure. Chatter, chirp, twitter, it's all chitter. Next is chitterlings or chitlins. Both chitterlings and chitlins. This is a noun from the 13th century. The intestines of hogs, especially when prepared as food. I was not prepared for that. I've heard people call children chitlins. Maybe chitterlings too, but I'm not sure. Which, of course, that one would be related to, in the last episode, we had chit, which is just child. But yeah, we don't need to be eating the hog's intestines. Please and thank you. Next is chivalric. 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 Adjective from 1794, relating to chivalry. See, I think I added a letter in there. Chivalry. It's not chivalry, it's chivalry. And then synonym is chivalrous. Chivalrous makes more sense than chivalric. But chivalric is a fun word to say. Okay, here we go with chivalrous. Chivalrous. Adjective from the 14th century. 1, the synonym is valiant. 2, of, relating to, or characteristic of chivalry, and knight errantry. So knight is the word with the K, like a knight in shining armor, and then there's a hyphen, and then the word errantry, E-R-R-A-N-T-R-Y. Of, relating to, or characteristic of chivalry and knight errantry. 3a, marked by honor, generosity, and courtesy. 3b, marked by gracious courtesy and high-minded consideration, especially to women. And the synonym is the word civil. Civil, similar to chival. And then chivalrously is an adverb, and chivalrousness is a noun. I like this. We need more of this. Here we go with the other word in this group is just the word chivalry. Chivalry. Noun from the 14th century. 1, mounted men-at-arms. 2 is archaic. 2a, martial valor. 2b, knightly skill. And that's the knightly with a K. 3, gallant or distinguished gentleman. Or would it be gallant? Gallant? I think it's gallant, but some people say gallant. Gallant or distinguished gentleman. 4, the system, spirit, or customs of medieval knighthood. 5, the qualities of the ideal knight. And chivalrous conduct. It's really hard to say this word correctly. Chivalrous. Okay, is there any etymology that we want to read? It is from the Anglo-French chevalerie, from chevalier, which means knight, and there's more at the word chevalier. Next is chive, noun from the 14th century. A perennial plant related to the onion and having slender leaves used as a seasoning, and then also just its leaves. This is used usually in plural, and you can compare it to the synonym garlic chive, which we also learned is called, I think, Chinese chive. This is from the Latin cepa, which means onion. The scientific name is Allium, how do you say this word? Chenoprasum, Allium chenoprasum. And I think it's so funny that there are people with some weird genetic thing that makes chives taste like soap to them. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of people. It almost seems like it's 50-50 or 40-60. I don't know. But there's a lot of people who think chive tastes like soap. So no chives for them. Chives, I'm okay with them. Onions are not like my most favorite thing. They're okay. So chives are okay for me. All right. Next we have chivy. Chivy. Or you could have two V's if you want. This is a verb from 1918, and I think it is just transitive. 1. To tease or annoy with persistent petty attacks. You're being very chivy. 2. To move or obtain by small maneuvers, as in chivy an olive out of a bottle. We get olives sometimes. We make little sort of like charcuterie plates with olives, and yeah. I didn't know this was the word, but I have to chivy the olives. Why is it so difficult to get them out of there? And then a synonym is the word bait, B-A-I-T. This is from chivy, which means chase or hunt, probably from English dialect Chevy Chase, which means chase. I know Chevy Chase is a town, I think, but there's more, obviously. So Chevy Chase means chase or confusion. That is from the name of a ballad describing the Battle of Otterburn from 1388. Wow, there's a lot of information, and it makes no sense to me. I also hoped that chivy just meant, it's like something tastes like chives. It's chivy. All right. Now, moving into another section, we have our next word, which is chlamydia. Chlamydia, chlamydia, noun from 1966. Number 1, any of a genus of spherical gram-negative intracellular bacteria, especially one that causes or is associated with various diseases of the eye and urogenital tract, including trachoma, lymphogranuloma, venereum, cervicitis, and some forms of urethritis. Yeah, this is a bad thing. Number 2, a disease or infection caused by chlamydiae. And then chlamydial is an adjective. So the genus name is chlamydia, the family name is chlamydiaceae. And then the one specifically that was mentioned is chlamydia trachomatis. This, I think, typically is just a sexually transmitted disease, so, be safe and wear protection so you don't get this. Why would you want this? You don't want this. Okay, next we have chlamydospore. It's a spore, so this is probably fungus related. Noun from 1884, a thick-walled, usually resting fungal spore. So it's probably related to the last word, but how exactly, I'm not sure. Like, do you grow these spores if you have chlamydia? I have no idea. That's gross. Again, wear protection. Next we have chlamys or chlamys. Chlammys. Chlamys. Noun from 1699. A short oblong mantle worn by young men of ancient Greece. The etymology, we can skip it. And then next is Chloe, capital Chloe, noun from 1587. A lover of Daphnis in a Greek pastoral romance. If your name is Chloe, you are named after this lover of Daphnis. Next and last word is a prefix. It is chlor or chloro, CHLOR, and then you could tag on an O depending on the word that it is preceding. No year for this one. Number 1, it means green, as in the example, chlorine or chlorosis. And number 2, it means chlorine or containing chlorine, as in chloroprene. This is from the Greek chloros, which means greenish yellow, and there's more at the word yellow. I didn't know chlorine was green. I don't know. All right. So the words that we had today are chitin, chiton, chitter, chitterlings, chivalric, chivalrous, chivalry, chive, chivy, chlamydia, chlamydospore, chlamys, chloe, and chlor. I am going to pick chivalrous as the word of the episode because we need a lot more of this. Maybe we don't necessarily need to throw our jacket down in a puddle to allow somebody to walk by, but, also it doesn't necessarily need to be just in relationships with people or courting people. You can just be chivalrous with the people around you and just be helpful and nice, and that's all it really is. Generosity, what were some of the other words? Honor, generosity, courtesy, gracious courtesy, high-minded consideration, especially to women. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Opening doors for people, whoever the people are, doesn't matter. Just be nice. That's all. Chivalrous. Why do I want to put an L in there? Chivalrous. You gotta go be chivalrous to all the people out there in the world. All right, let's talk about the holidays real quick. Here we go. It is St. Anthony. Don't know who St. Anthony was or what this holiday is exactly, but that's what that is. In Austria and Belgium, it is Father's Day. It is... Are we on the right page? We are on the right page. In Hungary, it is Inventor's Day. In Iraqi Kurdistan, it is Sulaymaniyah City Fallen and Martyrs Day. And the fun holidays, June 13th. Oh, you know what? I was checking something, but there's another holiday. It is International Albinism Awareness Day. So, be aware of the people who have albinism. Raise awareness about albinism and eliminate all forms of discrimination related to albino people. Yes, it's very, very rare. It is non-contagious, by the way. It says that here. Non-contagious. So don't feel like you can't shake their hand or give them a hug or be near them. It's not like you're going to catch this. It's a genetically inherited disorder present at birth. Lack of pigmentation in the hair, skin, and eyes can cause vulnerability to the sun and bright light. Found in both sexes, regardless of ethnicity, all countries in the world. Also, animals can get albinism. You will every once in a while see an albino alligator or whatever. It's a fascinating thing, and they are very rare and should be celebrated. And then our fun holiday is National Sewing Machine Day. So go give your sewing machine a present. All right, that is it. We have finished page 216. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing all of this information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary this is the podcast where I talk about all the words in this English language massive dictionary book thing, and we talk about it. If you would like to contact me, you can email me at dictionarypod@gmail.com, on the social media at dictionarypod. There's a Google Voice number that I don't have memorized, 917-727 something 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 something. There's more sevens in there. It's in the show notes. You can find it if you want to leave me a voicemail. If it's a good one, I will put it in an episode. And also, please rate and review. Please and thank you. This is a very science-heavy episode. Also, the next episode is very science-heavy, and then half of the episode after that is also very science-heavy. Yeah, that's what we got going on today. I think I will make that the last word. I'm just adjusting my little mark here. Okay. The first word is chloracne. CHLORACNE. Noun from circa 1928. A skin eruption resembling acne and resulting from exposure to chlorine or its compounds. It's an eruption of the skin. It's like a volcano. I am recording this in May, and I think we just passed the 40-year anniversary of Mount St. Helens. Yeah, I just thought of that because of it's an eruption. Okay, next we have chloral. CHLORAL. Obviously, all of these words are going to start with CHLOR. All right. Noun from 1838. 1. A pungent, colorless, oily aldehyde. CCl3CHO. Now, they got two C's in there. It starts with a C, and then there's another C after the Cl. Why are they separated? Why can't they put them together? I don't know. It is a colorless, oily aldehyde used in making DDT and chloral hydrate. And then number 2, the synonym is just chloral hydrate. What is chloral hydrate? It is 2 words, a noun from 1874. A bitter white crystalline drug, C2H3Cl3O2, used as a hypnotic and a sedative, or in knockout drops. Knockout Drops. That's a good band name. Spencer and the Knockout Drops. All right, next we have chlorulose or chlorulose. You can make it a Z sound. Noun from 1893. A bitter crystalline compound, C8H11Cl3O6, used especially to anesthetize animals. That is a hard word to say. Anesthetize. How many words in this episode are going to have those chemical letters and numbers? Let's find out. So far, we have 2. Okay, next, 3. I miscounted because we just did chlorulose. Next, we have chloramine, noun from 1893. These are all from the late 1800s, mostly. Any of various compounds containing nitrogen and chlorine. Next is a fun word to say, chloramphenicol or chloramphenicol. Noun from 1949. A broad-spectrum antibiotic, C11H12Cl2N2O5, isolated from cultures of a soil actinomycete or prepared synthetically. And the scientific name for actinomycete is Streptomyces venezuelae. Maybe it's from Venezuela. Next is chlorate, noun from 1823. A salt containing the anion ClO3. That is the end of that sentence. Oh, but there's also a dash, a minus symbol that looks like a superscript, like up high above the O3. I think that's what it's saying, but usually there's a number there. Why is there a dash, a minus symbol? I don't know. But then we have an example. Chlorate of potassium. Next is chlordane. That's like Claire Danes' chemical compound. Chlordane. Noun from 1947. A viscous, volatile, toxic liquid insecticide, C10H6Cl8, formerly used in the U.S. It is not used anymore. Why? Because it's very terrible for probably animals and insects, and it is an insecticide, and the environment. Next is another fun long word, chlordiazepaxide. Chlordiazepaxide, noun from 1960. A benzodiazepine, C16H14Cl N3O, related to diazepam and used in the form of its hydrochloride, especially as a tranquilizer, and to treat the withdrawal symptoms of alcoholism. By the way, the etymology for most of these words is just taking this plus this part of this very chemical word plus this part of this other chemical word. So that's why I'm not really reading those. Next, we have chlorella. It's like Chlorella de Vil, Chlorella, chlorella, noun from 1904, any of a genus of unicellular green algae. The genus name is also chlorella with a capital C. The genus, let's see, it is from the genus name, which is from the Greek name chloros. Next is chlorenchyma, Chlorrenchyma, chlorenchyma, noun from 1894, chlorophyll-containing parenchyma of plants. Chlorophyll-containing parenchyma of plants. Yes. Next we have chlorhexidine or chlorhexidine, noun from 1957, an antibacterial compound, C22H30Cl2N10, used as a local antiseptic and disinfectant, especially in the form of its hydrochloride and gluconate. And the example of this local antiseptic is as in mouthwash. So maybe that is one of the ingredients in mouthwash. The last couple of words, hydrochloride or gluconate, reminded me of a, I don't remember if I mentioned this before, an Animaniacs song where they read off very complicated scientific chemical words that are ingredients in foods, candies, and snacks and stuff. It's a very, very funny song.
Monosodium glutamate, dehydrated calciumate, soybean oil, butter, fat, caramel sensor, I'll eat that.
Where were we? Okay, now we have chloride, noun from 1812. 1. A compound of chlorine with another element or group, especially a salt or ester of hydrochloric acid. I want to put that in my cereal. Noun, a monovalent anion consisting of one atom of chlorine. By the way, please don't put hydrochloric acid in your cereal. That is a very, very bad idea. Next is chloride of lime. 3 words. From 1826, the synonym is bleaching powder. Next we have chlorinate. Verb from 1855, I think it is just transitive, to treat or combine with chlorine or a chlorine compound. Chlorination is a noun, and chlorinator is also a noun. That is another good superhero name. I just heard one of my episodes, either editing or listening to them daily, and there was some word that I thought was like, oh, that's a funny superhero name. Also, we can add chlorinator to that. The chlorinator and the knockout drops. Okay, next is chlorine. This is a thing that most of us are semi-familiar with. Chlorine, noun from 1810, a halogen element that is isolated as a heavy greenish-yellow diatomic gas of pungent odor and is used especially as a bleach, oxidizing agent, and disinfectant in water purification. And then it says to see the element table. Oh, we're getting closer to the element table. We're getting closer to the element table. Okay, that was a fun definition. Next we have chlorine dioxide. Noun from circa 1925. A heavy reddish-yellow gas, ClO2, used especially as a bleach and disinfectant. Next is chlorine monoxide. So the dioxide means there's 2, in this case 2 oxygens. So what do you think the monoxide? What did I say? Chlorine monoxide. There's only 1. This is a noun from 1965. A reactive monovalent radical ClO that plays a major role in stratospheric ozone depletion. Next we have, this is going to be our last word, chlorinity. ChlorInity. Chlorinity, noun from circa 1931, a measure of the concentration of halides in 1 kilogram of seawater. You are measuring how much basically how much chlorine in this. It says halides, how much stuff is in 1 kilogram of seawater. You're testing the chlorinity. Okay, let's reread the words real quick, if I can. Chloracne, chloral hydrate, chlorulose, chloramine, chloramphenicol, chlorate, chlordane, chlordiazepoxide, chlorella, chlorencama, chlorhexidine, chloride of lime, chlorinate, chlorinated lime, chlorine, chlorine dioxide, and chlorine monoxide. Well, I think I'm just going to pick chlorine as the word of the episode. That word sounds incredibly strange now. Chlorine. Oh, okay, so focus. It is an halogen element that is isolated as a heavy greenish yellow diatomic gas of pungent odor. That's fine. Okay, that was those were all the words. Now I got to read the holidays. We got some good ones today. It is Flag Day. Can we get the day off for Flag Day? It is National Bourbon Day. So go have some bourbon if you are legally allowed to, or if your parents let you. But just a little bit. That stuff's strong. Oh, bourbon. In Australia, it is Queen's birthday. It is, in Estonia, it is Day of Mourning and Commemoration. In Latvia, it is Day of Victims of Communist Terror. In Bolivia, it is National Veterans Day. Let's check this website. In Armenia, it is Day of Memory for Repressed People. In Malawi, it is Freedom Day. In the Falkland Islands and South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands, I want to go there, it is Liberation Day. And let's see, let's check the fun holidays. I'm saving one. Oh yes, it is, it's a week. It's National Men's Health Week. So go be healthy, men. Let's see, and then other fun holidays. It is Army Birthday. Didn't know the birthday had an army. No, the army had a birthday. What did I say? The birthday had an army? The birthday had an army. And then finally, it is World Blood Donor Day. Please, if you can, please go donate blood. To be honest, I have only done this once in my life, and I got very, very lightheaded and almost passed out, and they had to help me out. That shouldn't deter me from giving blood, because it is a really, really, really good thing to do, especially if you have a very rare blood type, which I do not. But we all gotta go donate the blood. So if you can, go donate the blood, and to help. It's a really good way to help other people. Okay, we're gonna end this episode there. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. This is my podcast. I am Spencer, and I am reading all this stuff to you. I forgot to mention in the last episode, I wanted to do a count of how many of the words in that last episode had those letters and numbers, the chemical compounds, and I just did a count, and I believe, if I counted correctly, there were 10 of them. 10 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 words, half of the words. Anyway, this one is also full of scientific words, might be a little bit more interesting than the last one, depending on who you are. That's all I got to say about that. So the first word is chlorite, CHLORITE. Again, all of these words are starting with CHLOR. That's going to be halfway into next episode as well. Well, partially into next episode. Okay. Chlorite, first form, noun from 1794. Any of a group of usually green silicate minerals associated with and resembling the micas. MICAS. What are the micas? Chloritic is an adjective. This is from Greek chlorite, from Latin chloritis or chloritis, which is a green stone. Yes, I think we learned a couple episodes ago with the prefix chlor or chloro that it means green. Okay, second form of chlorite, noun from 1853. A salt containing the anion ClO2 with a little dash over it, as in chlorite of sodium. And then we had a similar one in the last episode. Let's see if I can find it. It was somewhere that I can't find. That's fine. We can skip it. There it is. Chlorate. So that was chlorate of potassium. This is chlorite of sodium. All right, next we have the prefix chloro, and it just says see the prefix chlor, which was the last word 2 episodes ago. Next is chlorobenzene. Chlorobenzene, noun from circa 1889. A colorless, flammable, volatile, toxic liquid, C6H5Cl, used in organic synthesis and as a solvent. And the example of organic synthesis is as of DDT. I think we shall learn more about DDT in the next letter. Next we have chlorofluorocarbon. I love this word, chlorofluorocarbon. Noun from 1949. Any of several simple gaseous compounds that contain carbon, chlorine, fluorine, and sometimes hydrogen that are used as refrigerants, cleaning solvents, and aerosol propellants, and in the manufacture of plastic foams, and that are believed to be a major cause of stratospheric ozone depletion. It is abbreviated to CFC, all caps. That was a long definition, and there was many instances of the word and this, and that, and this other thing. All right, similar word is chlorofluoromethane, noun from 1965, a chlorofluorocarbon derived from methane. I really want to figure out how to say chlorofluorocarbon backwards. I may actually start doing every once in a while a video that I shall put on YouTube about me teaching people how to talk backwards, various words and phrases. So maybe I shall do an episode of chlorofluorocarbon. All right, next we have chloroform, first form of chloroform, noun from 1838, a colorless, volatile, heavy, toxic liquid, CHCl3, with an ether odor used especially as a solvent. Let's see, the etymology says this is from French chloroform, which is chlor plus formyle, which is from its having been regarded as a trichloride of this group. The formyl group, I don't know what that is. Yes, now we have the second form of chloroform. The second form of chloroform, it is a transitive verb from 1848. To treat with or as if with chloroform, especially so as to produce anesthesia, insensibility, or death. Why death? Why you gonna kill people with this stuff? You see in older movies, this stuff gets used all the time to make somebody pass out. You know, they put some chloroform or ether or whatever on a rag, and then they put the rag on their face, and then they pass out. You've seen it. But this is not a nice thing to do. Next is chlorogenic acid, 2 words, noun from circa 1889. A crystalline acid, C16H18O9, occurring in various plant parts. And the example of these plant parts are coffee beans. You got some chlorogenic acid in your coffee beans. Next is chlorohydrin. Chlorohydrin, noun from circa 1890. Any of various organic compounds derived from diols or polyhydroxy alcohols by substitution of chlorine for part of the hydroxyl groups. Diols is DIOLS. Next is chlorophyll. Phill is PHYLL. Noun from 1819. 1. The green, see there's the green again, the green photosynthetic pigment found chiefly in the chloroplasts of plants and occurring especially as a blue-black ester, C55H72 N4O5, or as a dark green ester, C55, H70, Mg, N4O6. So what were the differences? There were a couple of little differences in the numbers there. One is blue-black, and one is dark green. And then it's called also, respectively, chlorophyll A and, I had a little burp, chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. So, use that information somewhere. Number 2, a waxy green chlorophyll-containing substance extracted from green plants and used as a coloring agent or deodorant. Oh yeah, I'm going to put some chlorophyll under my armpits as a deodorant. A chlorophyllous is an adjective. Oh, that is so chlorophyllous. Let's see, this is from chlor plus the Greek phylon, which means leaf. And there's more at the word blade. Next, we have chloropicrin, Picrin, noun from circa 1889, a colorless liquid, Cl3, NO2, that causes tears? No. Well, see, tears or tears and vomiting, and is used especially as a soil fumigant. In this case, I think it is tears. But I thought it should be tears, but then I saw vomiting, and I think tears makes more sense. You don't want to be ingesting something that is going to cause tears and vomiting. Not fun. Let's see, the Picrin, Picros, that is Greek. That is where this is from, which means sharp. Probably has a very sharp feeling if you get it in you in some way. There's more at the word paint. Next, we have chloroplast, noun from 1887, a plastid that contains chlorophyll and is the site of photosynthesis. And it tells us to see the cell illustration. So, we talked about the plant cells and the animal cells many episodes ago. You can go back and listen to that one. It should be easy to find. I just sort of probably visually described the chloroplast, but I didn't know what I was talking about. I still don't know what I'm talking about. Chloroplastic is an adjective. Next, we have chloroprene, noun from 1931, a colorless liquid, C4H5Cl, used especially in making neoprene by polymerization. Neoprene, that's the stuff that you put your laptop in, those neoprene bags. So it's got some chloroprene in there. Neoprene, chloroprene. Next we have chloroquine. Chloroquine, but it is spelled Quine. Noun from 1946. Is there a chloroking? This is an see, it's going over to the second line, so I can't read this word. Anti-malarial drug. An anti-malarial drug, C18H26Cl N3, administered in the form of its bitter crystalline diphosphate. Next is chlorosis. This sounds like a disease. Chlorosis. Noun from 1678. 1. An iron deficiency anemia, especially of adolescent girls, that may impart a greenish tint to the skin. Called also green sickness, which is all one word, green sickness. I just listened to the episode that aired today, which is May 22nd, and the word cheek is in there. And the example was rosy-cheeked. That was one of the words. And I said, what would another thing be? Green-cheeked. I said, that's probably when you are going to throw up. So here is an example of when you could call somebody green-cheeked if they have this green sickness called chlorosis. Why? What causes this? Iron deficiency, anemia. So you're not getting enough iron. You got to get your iron. Eat some, I think kale and things like that have iron. Other things too. Okay, number 2. A diseased condition in green plants marked by yellowing or blanching. And chlorotic is an adjective. Here we go with the last word. It's another fun one. Chlorothiazide. How do you say this? Chlorothiazide or chlorothiazide. I have to spell it. CHLOROTHIAZIDE. thiazide, chlorophyazide. Noun from 1957. A thiazide diuretic, C7H6Cl N3O4S2, used especially in the treatment of edema and hypertension. Man, reading those chemical compounds really throws off the flow, doesn't it? All right, so let's read the words. We had chlorite, chloro, chlorobenzene, chlorofluorocarbon, chlorofluoromethane, chloroform, chlorogenic acid, chlorohydrin, chlorophyll, chloropicrin, chloroplast, chloroprene, chloroquine, chlorosis, and chlorothiazide. Well, I think I am going to pick, where did it go? Chlorofluorocarbon as the word of the episode, because it is a very fun word to say. Chlorofluorocarbon, it's a chlorofluorocarbon. I don't know what to say about chlorofluorocarbon. All right, that was all of the words. All right, let's read some holidays for today, which is June 15th. I think I'm on the right page. Yes, I am. All right, in Costa Rica, it is Arbor Day. They got lots of trees there. In Denmark, it is Flag Day, also called Day of Valdemar and Reunion Day. In Italy, it is Engineers Day. Internationally, it is Global Wind Day. So say hello to the wind because it goes all around the world. In Azerbaijan, it is National Salvation Day. In the UK, it is National Beer Day. The UK, they love their beer. We know that. Let's see. This is a very big one. It is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. This is a thing that, this is a big problem because, I don't know, in the simplest form, the first thing that I can think of is people get older, they need more help physically and medically, and they get put into a nursing home or something of some kind, and people just don't treat them well. They think that they worth nothing. Maybe they're just sitting there, taking up resources. But these are people. These are people who have stories and lives, and probably more interesting lives than you. And they have been through some stuff. And so how are they abused? They may not be fed right away. They may not be cleaned right away. They may be physically abused. They may be mentally abused. There are so many different ways. This is obviously this is a big problem. This happens because they don't really have much of a voice. Typically, they don't have a way to say this is happening to me. Or if they do, people think, oh well, they're old, they're losing their mind, they don't know what they're talking about, which is usually not the case, I think. Anyway, be aware that this is happening, and if you see this happening, say something. Stop this from happening. On a lighter note regarding this, I just found out that there is a movie coming out on, I believe, Shudder.com. It is technically sort of a horror movie. It may be out by the time this episode has aired. It is called, I think, The Amusement Park, and it is by George A. Romero, and he made this, I think, right after maybe his second or third movie he made, and it never saw the light of day because a group of people asked him to make a movie about elder abuse, and this is what he made. And they watched it, and they said, nope, we don't want the public to see this because George A. Romero made it. If you know anything about him, I think you have an idea of where this might be going. So I'm very curious to see what this is, and you should go check it out if you are interested about that topic and George A. Romero's movies. Anyway, let's look at the fun holidays. They're not always fun holidays. In addition to World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, it is National Bug Busting Day. Well, is this about killing bugs? Oh, checking your kids for nits. So lice and things like that. This is good. Don't let that stuff spread around. It is also Nature Photography Day. I have only done a little bit of nature photography, but I really like it. Maybe I'll go out in nature and take some photographies. All right, I'm going to end this episode there. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. If you were not interested in those last couple episodes because they had a lot of scientific words, which I think are good to learn, you will be pleased because we have a few in the beginning of this one, but then we move on to other things. And I think I already know what the word of the episode is going to be. All right, so the first word is chlorpheniramine. Chlorpheniramine. chlorphenyramine. Chlorpheniramine. Or just chlorpheniramine. Noun from 1964, an antihistamine, C16, H19, Cl, and 2, that is usually administered in the form of its malleate or malleate. Not exactly sure how to say that word. Okay, moving on to chlorpromazine or chlorpromazine. I think it's chlorpromazine. Noun from 1952. Let's go. Will you go to chlorpromazine with me? This is a perennothiazine, C17, H19, Cl, N2S, used chiefly as a tranquilizer, especially in the form of its hydrochloride to control the symptoms of psychotic disorders. And the example of that would be as schizophrenia. Yep. Etymology is the same. It's all just combining portions of chemical words. All right, next we have chloropropamide. Chloropropamide or chloropropamide. Chloropropamide. Noun from 1960. A sulfonylurea drug, C10, H13, Cl, N2, O3S, used orally to reduce blood sugar in the treatment of mild diabetes. Next we have chlorpyrifos. Chlorpyrifos. Pyrifos. Chlorpyrifos. Noun from 1970. A toxic crystalline organophosphate pesticide, C9, H11, Cl3, NO3, PS, that inhibits acetylchlorinestearase and is used to control insect pests and ticks. There may be a sneeze in my future. That was a crazy word. Acetylchlorinestearase, something like that. Okay, next we have chlortetracycline. Chlortetracycline. Tetra is in there. I think that means 4. Chlortetracycline. Noun from 1953. A yellow crystalline broad-spectrum antibiotic, C22, H23, Cl, N2, O8, that is produced by a soil acetomycete and is sometimes used in animal feeds to stimulate growth. And the scientific name of that soil actinomycete is Streptomyces aureofaciens. Close enough. Okay, so we finished all of the 2.5 episodes, or 2 1/3 episodes of scientific words in general. Now let's move on to a couple abbreviations. CHM, all lowercase, abbreviation for 1, chairman, 2, checkmate. Next is CHMN, so we added an N and we capitalized the C, abbreviation for chairman. Oh, look, here's another scientific-looking name. It is choanocyte. 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 Noun from 1888. Just have the synonym collar cell. Collar. COLLAR. Collar cell. This is from the prefix choan, which means funnel-shaped. I want some funnel cake. And then, which is from the Greek choani, which means funnel plus site. All right. Next we have chock. CHOCK. First form. Noun from 1769. 1. A wedge or block for steadying a body, as a cask, and holding it motionless for filling. What is happening here? Let's go backtrack. A wedge or block for steadying a body and holding it motionless, for fitting in an unwanted space, or for blocking the movement of a wheel. That is a chock, yes. I think when the planes come in, they put these chocks, these wedges on either side of the wheels so they don't roll back and forth. And then a body, it says as a cask, like a cask of wine that's a barrel on its side. It's going to roll away if you don't put the chock under it. Okay, next, number 2. A heavy metal casting with 2 short horn-shaped arms curving inward, between which ropes or hawsers may pass for mooring or towing. I think that's, yes, it's all about boats, because there is an example of the heavy metal casting as on the bow or stern of a ship. The origin of this word chock is unknown. Why? Who made it up? Somebody said, that thing's a chock. Second form of chock, adverb from 1834, as close or as completely as possible. I don't know if I've heard that. Third form of chock, transitive verb from circa 1841, to stop or make fast with, or as if with chocks. Here we go with chock-a-block. First form. Who knew that there are 2 forms of chock-a-block? It is one word. Adverb from 1840. The definition is just the synonym chock. Which one would that be? I think it is, it is the second form, because the example is chock-a-block full, which I think often you just say chock full. I'm chock full of blood. So I guess chock-a-block. Why? What? Where? What is this word? This makes no sense. Yes, because that second form of chock means as close or as completely as possible. I guess that sort of makes sense. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, second form of chock-a-block, adjective from 1850. 1, brought close together. 2, very full, as in shelves chock-a-block with books. Why is there no etymology for this? I need some information, please. All right, here we go with this chock full. You can spell it chock-full or just chock full, one word with 1 L. Chock full, adjective from the 15th century. That's old. Full to the limit, as in hotels chock full of tourists. The etymology isn't terribly helpful. From Middle English, chock-full, probably from chockin, which means to choke, plus full, to choke, like it is so full you're getting choked by how full it is. I don't know. That's odd. Okay. Next we have chockaholic. This is spelled a couple ways. Chockaholic. CHOCO. Oh, you know what? I thought that was a U, but I think the printing of that O, they lost the top of it. So I thought it was a U, but no. Okay, so you could spell it CHOCOHOLIC or CHOCAHOLIC. All right, we figured that one out. Noun from 1968, a person who craves or compulsively consumes chocolate. I don't compulsively consume it, but I want to, so I'm sort of a chocoholic. Yeah. And then here we go with, where does this word come from? It comes from the words chocolate. Chocolate, this is a noun from 1604. 4 definitions, lots of etymology. 1, a beverage made by mixing chocolate with water or milk. We don't call this. We don't. Who calls a beverage a chocolate? Just can I have a chocolate? No, we say, can I have a chocolate milk, or a hot chocolate, a hot cocoa, or did we say cocoa? No, I don't think so. But yes, you mix it with water or milk and it becomes chocolate. Number 2, a food prepared from ground roasted cacao beans. 3, a small candy with a center and a chocolate coating. And what is the center? It is a fondant. It could be a fondant. 4, a brownish gray. And then chocolate is an adjective. And man, yes, this covers all the bases, I guess, in general, but a small candy with a center and a chocolate coating, that is very specific. Chocolate is so much more than just these. But I guess the number 2 one, a food prepared from ground roasted cacao beans, that really covers the rest of them. Let's look at the etymology. It is Spanish from the Nahuatl word chocolatl, which is probably an alternative of the Eastern Nahuatl dialect word chicolatl from chicoli, which means hook, which is probably used to refer to the beater used to mix chocolate with water. So it looks like a hook. And then, so it's chicoli plus the word atl, which means water or liquid. So that is where the word chocolate comes from. It means, that if they're correct, it basically means hook water, which doesn't really make any sense. I don't know. All right, but that was kind of interesting. Next, we have chocolate box, 2 words with a hyphen, adjective from 1901, a superficially pretty or sentimental. Superficially pretty or sentimental. It is a chocolate box. This is from the pictures formerly commonly seen on boxes of chocolates. What would those pictures be? 1901. Maybe I should see if I can find a picture of an old chocolate box. What? Superficially pretty or sentimental? We are sentimental for chocolate boxes? I don't know. Next and last word is chocolatier. CHOCOLATIER. Noun from 1888, a maker or seller of chocolate candy. It's just from the French word chocolat, which means chocolate. Have you seen that movie, Chocolat? It's a fun, tasty movie. People who are chocolatiers, they make some crazy stuff. I've seen some videos online of people making insane sculptures out of chocolate, and the amount of work that goes into making those is just insane. They're very cool, and the things are edible, which I like, but wow, it's a crazy amount of work. All right, the words today were chlorpheniramine, chlorpromazine or chlorpromazine, chlorpropamide, chlorpyrifos, chlortetracycline, CHM, CHMN, choanasite, chalk, chock-a-block, chock-full, chockaholic, chocolate, chocolate box, and chocolatier. Well, I was going to pick chocolate as the word of the episode. And, it really is the word of the episode. But for fun, I think I'm just going to pick chocolatier as the word of the episode because these are the people who make the stuff. And thank you, chocolatiers. Thank you, chocolatiers, for making my chocolate. Make that chocolate so tasty. And crazy sculptures of chocolate. Chocolate sculptures. Chocter? No, that didn't work. Chocolatiers is the word of the episode. All right, let us talk about the holidays. It would be great if it was National Chocolate Day, but I doubt that. In the Rastafari religion, it is birthday of Leonard P. Howell. We'll talk about that in a second. In Argentina, it is Engineers Day. I think yesterday was Engineers Day in Italy. In Seychelles, it is Father's Day. With the Organization of African Unity, it is International Day of the African Child. In Sikhism, it is Martyrdom of Guru Arjan Dev. In Sussex, it is Sussex Day. In South Africa, it is Youth Day. In where? In Canada, it is the NHL Awards. I think they have awards like most teeth knocked out in one game. Let's see. It is International Day of Family Remittances. And what are some more fun holidays? It is Bloomsday. I had to read this ahead of time. So Bloomsday This was new to me because I don't know the author James Joyce. I have heard of him, but I've never read any of his stuff, including the novel Ulysses, which is what this is about. It takes place on June 16th, 1904, which is today, June 16th, and it follows the day in the life of the protagonist, Leopold Bloom. So it's Bloom's Day. Anyway, maybe I should read that book. It is, let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that one we're definitely going to save for the end. It is Tupac's birthday, so go celebrate Tupac's birthday. I am really not all that familiar with his music. I should be, because I like all music. So maybe I shall listen to some Tupac music on June 16th. And finally, yes, people, it happened. It is National Fudge Day, and we just read the word chocolate. So, you know, that you could take that however you want to take that. I did not plan this. But then tomorrow, you can counteract all the fudge you're eating today because, spoiler alert, it is National Eat Your Vegetables Day. Go eat your vegetables with a good side of chocolate and fudge. Chocolate fudge. All right, we're going to end this episode there. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. We are at the end of page 217. Please, if you could, if you enjoy this, well, tell some people. Go ahead and subscribe, rate, and review. If you have access to Apple Podcasts, I would really appreciate it if you wrote a review, and preferably it would have 5 stars. That'll help me get up in the charts and things like that. You can contact me at dictionarypod on social media, dictionarypod@gmail.com. If you want to send me an email, send me a message, send me a something, send me a Google voicemail thing, and we can chat. All right. The first word is chocolatey. CHOCOLATY or LATEY. Adjective from 1926, made of or like chocolate. Also, having a rich chocolate flavor. Next is Choctaw. You can spell this, let's see, it looks like it's actually 2 words, CHOC with a capital C, and then TAW, unless there's a printing problem, but I'm pretty sure that is what it is, Choctaw. The plural, you would combine the 2 words together, which seems odd. You could also say Choctaws, but yes, Choctaw, 1 word, or Choctaws, also 1 word. This is a noun from 1722. 1. A member of an American Indian people of Mississippi, Alabama. Did I say that word weird? Alabama? How do you even say Alabama? Alabama. I don't even know my states. Where are we? What's going on? A member of an American Indian people of Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. Number 2. The language of the Choctaw people. And I do feel like this might be a printing error because the Choctaw people is 1 word. I don't know. So it says it's from their own language, their word, CAHTA. So I guess that would sort of be how it's spelled, but it's pronounced Choctaw. There's some very meta stuff is happening over here. Kata, Choctaw. Yeah, interesting. Okay, next is choice. This is a big one. We have 2 forms. Both of them have synonym information. All right, so the first form of choice, noun from the 13th century. 1, the act of choosing. Synonym is selection, as in finding it hard to make a choice. I have a very hard time making choices. 2, power of choosing. Synonym is option, as in you have no choice. You have no choice but to read the rest of this, which is 3A, the best part. That's the definition, the best part. The synonym is cream, like the cream of the crop. The choice, that stuff is choice. 3B, a person or thing chosen, as in she was their first choice. Number 4, a number and variety to choose among, as in a plan with a wide choice of options. 5, care in selecting. 6. A grade of meat between prime and good. There's a phrase of choice, and that means to be preferred. Do we want to look at the etymology first? From Middle English, choice, with an S. From Anglo-French, choisir, which means to choose, of Germanic origin, akin to the Old High German kyosan, how do you say that word? Which means to choose, and there's more at the word choose. So, the synonym information for the first form of choice. Choice, option, alternative, preference, selection, and election mean the act or opportunity of choosing or the thing chosen. Choice suggests the opportunity or privilege of choosing freely, as in freedom of choice. Option implies a power to choose that is specifically granted or guaranteed, as in the option of paying now or later. Alternative implies a need to choose one and reject another possibility, as in equally attractive alternatives. Preference suggests a choice guided by one's judgment or predilections, as in a preference for cool weather. Selection implies a range of choice, as in a varied selection of furniture. How do you choose? Election implies an end or purpose, which requires exercise of judgment, as in doing a tax return forces certain elections on you. That was the first form of choice. Second form of choice is an adjective. The other one was a noun. Adjective from the 14th century. 1. Worthy of being chosen. Back in my junior high days in gym class, I was not worthy of being chosen. 2. Selected with care. 3a. Of high quality. 3b. Of a grade between prime and good, as in choice meat. You talked about that in the last one. Choicely is an adverb, and choiceness is a noun. And no etymology for this one, but we do have synonym information. Choice, exquisite, elegant, rare, delicate, and dainty mean having qualities that appeal to a cultivated taste. Choice stresses preeminence in quality or kind, as in choice fabric. Exquisite implies a perfection in workmanship or design that appeals only to very sensitive taste, as in an exquisite gold bracelet. Elegant applies to what is rich and luxurious but restrained by good taste, as in a sumptuous but elegant dining room. Rare suggests an uncommon excellence, as in rare beauty. Delicate implies exquisiteness, subtlety, and fragility, as in delicate craftsmanship. Didn't we see craftsmanship somewhere else? Maybe not. Dainty sometimes carries an additional suggestion of smallness and of appeal to the eye or palate, as in, this is an interesting example, dainty sandwiches. Would not have put those words together, but yes, sometimes there are dainty sandwiches. That reminds me of the scene in This Is Spinal Tap, where he's like got little breads and little meats, and they're not the same size, so he's got to fold this, and he can't fold, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. All right, that was the second form of choice. Next is choir. If you don't know how to spell it, it is choir. First form, noun from the 14th century. 1. An organized company of singers, as in a church service. 2. A group of instruments of the same class, as in a brass choir. 3. An organized group of persons or things. 4. A division of angels. 5. The part of a church occupied by the singers or by the clergy. Also, the part of a church where the services are performed. 6. A group organized for ensemble speaking. Ensemble speaking? I mean, I've heard of ensemble singing, but are these people speaking in an ensemble all together in the same way? Do people do this? That sounds interesting. Let's see. This is from Middle English queer, Quer, from Anglo-French, queer, from Middle Latin chorus, from the Latin chorus, and there's more at the word chorus. Second form of choir, intransitive verb from 1596, to sing or sound in chorus or concert. Next is choir boy, one word, noun from 1837, a boy member of a choir. And, okay, I don't think that they have choir girl in here. Why? Why would you have choir boy and not choir girl? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Our last word is choir loft. 2 words. Choir and loft. Noun from 1929. A gallery occupied by a church choir. All right. The words were chocolatey. I should have put that in the last episode. Chocolatey, Choctaw, choice, choir, choir boy, and choir loft. Well, I am going to pick choice as the word of the episode because, well, I often have a hard time choosing things because, sometimes it's just like, well, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. What do you think? What should I choose, A or B? I don't know. I don't really care. Doesn't matter because nothing matters. But every choice you make affects your life going forward. Every choice you make will affect your future, will determine what your future will be with what you choose. Anyway, also, I just want to say, yes, I get a little political sometimes. This is a thing that we shouldn't be discussing anymore, but we still are, and we still will be for a while. People, specifically women, I guess, man, I'm going to really screw this up. Anyway, women need to have choices. They need to be able to choose what is best for them and their body. Actually, this goes way beyond abortion. This is you get to choose what happens with your body. Nobody else gets to choose that, just you. With your mind and your body, that is up to you. There are people in politics who are trying to, and sometimes succeeding, trying to make decisions that are basically making choices for you. And that is not cool. That is not right. Doesn't matter what you think. You should be allowed to make choices for yourself. Yeah, I think we're just going to leave it at that. Do I sing a song about choice? Choice. I don't know how to sing a song about choice. All right, we're just going to move on to the holidays. In El Salvador, Guatemala, it is Father's Day. It is Icelandic National Day, which celebrates the independence of Iceland from the Kingdom of Denmark in 1944. In Latvia, it is Occupation of the Latvian Republic Day. It is remembrance to East German Uprising of 1953. It is World Day to combat desertification and drought. I think in a lot of places it is because of climate change, we are getting more droughts in addition to other things, and desertification, that is not things turning into deserts, it is things turning into deserts. We need to stop this. In the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, it is Zemla Intifada Day. And what else? What else do we have for holidays today? It is, very important, it's National Mascot Day. It's the MTV Movie and TV Awards. It is, let's see, what else? I think we read all of those. In Argentina, it is Pass to Immortality of General Don Martin de Güemes. I don't know if I said that correctly. I probably did not. And then let's look at our fun. I already told you yesterday. It's National Eat Your Vegetables Day. Please, half of each of your dishes should be vegetables. It's not that hard. Get some vegetables. You got to get some produce at the store. A lot of you people live in food deserts where it's hard to get good food like this, but, do what you can. drive a little further to get some produce because it's good for you. It's healthy. Speaking of, I'm hungry, so I gotta go eat some food. Maybe I shall eat some veggies. I might not right now. But I do have some very tasty, spicy, pickled veggies that my friend gave me in a big jar, so maybe I'll eat some of those. All right, we're going to end the episode there. We finished page 217. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Yes, there is an air conditioner running in the background because it's very warm here on the 3rd floor, and I don't want to get any more nasty and sweaty than I already am. So, air conditioner is running to keep me cool. All right. Top of page 218. Why is all this? This is sounding so weird. I don't know. It sounds funky in my head. All right. First word is choir master. Choir and then master, all one word, noun from 1840. The director of a choir. The next word is choke. This is the first form. There are a bunch of definitions, and almost all of the rest of the words in this episode are going to start with choke. So, this is a verb from the 14th century, starting with transitive. 1. To check or block normal breathing of by compressing or obstructing the trachea or by poisoning or adulterating available air. So that would be choking somebody. Yeah, you don't do that. 2A, to check or hinder the growth, development, or activity of, as in, the flowers were choked by the weeds. 2B, to obstruct by filling up or clogging, as in, leaves choked the drain. If you have a house and it has some rain gutters, you gotta go up there and clean out the leaves so the rain can flow smoothly and it's not being choked. 2C, to fill completely, and the synonym is jam. You've been jammed, as in roads choked with traffic. 3, to enrich the fuel mixture of, by partially shutting off the air intake of the carburetor. And the example of what is the fuel mixture is going into, it's the motor, it's the car motor. 4, to grip as a baseball bat with to grip as a baseball bat some distance from the end of the handle, and that is usually used with the word up. Choke up on the baseball bat. Now we are in intransitive territory. 1, to become choked in breathing, as in he choked on a bone. When I was a very little kid, I have a very slight memory of this, but I was, probably 3, I don't know. It was just my dad and I. We were having dinner, and we were eating some food, and then the doorbell rang, and he went to get the doorbell, and by the time he came back from the door, I was sort of choking on a piece of food. I think it was a piece of chicken, and it wasn't like, it wasn't crazy, but it was like I couldn't really talk, not very good. And I was like, I got something stuck in my throat. And he literally had to stick his fingers into my throat to pull out this food to save my life. Yes, I have a vague memory of that. And he, I think, was traumatized by that. Understandably. All right. 2A, to become obstructed or checked. 2B, to become or... Now, this is a big block of text, and I'm losing my place. To become or feel constricted in the throat, as from strong emotion. Oh, I'm getting a little choked up. That is usually used with the word up, as in choked up and couldn't finish the speech. 3, to shorten one's grip, especially on the handle of a bat. Again, usually used with the word up. 4, to lose one's composure and fail to perform effectively in a critical situation. As in, had a chance to win the game, but he choked. A very versatile word. What is the etymology? From Middle English, an alternative of a chokin. There's an A at the beginning. From Old English, chokin, spelled in a way that none of us will understand. Let's see, that is from the A prefix plus the rest of the word, choke, something which means jaw or cheek, And there is more at the words cheek and abide. Second form of choke, noun from 1736. 1. The filamentous inedible center of an artichoke flower head. And then broadly, an artichoke flower head. The etymology for this number 1 is different. It is by folk etymology, which is just from the word artichoke. Very clearly obvious, right? I thought so. 2. Something that obstructs passage or flow, as 2a valve for choking a gasoline engine. 2b, a constriction in an outlet that restricts flow, and the outlet would be as of an oil well. 2c, the synonym is the number 2 definition for the word reactor. 2b, a constriction, as a narrowing of the barrel or an attachment at the muzzle of a shotgun that serves to limit the spread of a shot. The spread of a shot. And number 3, the act of choking. Next is chokeberry. One word, chokeberry. Why is a berry called a chokeberry? I mean, I have a thought, but let's see what it says. Noun from 1778, a small berry-like astringent fruit. Also, any of a genus of North American shrubs of the rose family bearing chokeberries. And the genus name is Aronia, with an A at the beginning. Why is it called a chokeberry? It does not tell me this. It has no etymology. Did people choke on these berries? Or did somebody just... I don't understand. Why are things called the things they are called? Next is choke chain. 2 words, noun from 1955. A collar that may be tightened as a noose, and that is used especially in training and controlling powerful or stubborn dogs, called also choke collar. I think that's the one that we're more familiar with. I thought that this was going to be the word that we're coming up to. So yeah, I mean, dogs have a lot of extra skin in the neck area. They're, in case they get attacked by something, they still might be able to move around and not be seriously injured. And so, yeah, there are these choke collars that can really tighten on their neck. And I don't know exactly how I feel about that. Let's see. That was choke chain. Now we are on choke cherry. We had choke berry. Now we got choke cherry. Choke, that's like chuckberry, chokeberry. Noun. By the way, this is one word. Noun from 1784. A wild cherry of the U.S. and Canada, having bitter or astringent red to black, edible fruit. The other one, I don't know if it said it was edible. Also, this fruit is called chokecherry. The scientific name is Prunus virginiana, so it's probably in Virginia. Next, we have choke coil. 2 words, noun from circa 1896. The synonym is the number 2 definition for the word reactor, and we saw that just in the word choke before. I wonder, is that like a nuclear reactor? What is the second definition of the word reactor? We shall find out many years from now. Next is choke hold. So this is going to be similar to the number 1 definition of the word choke at the beginning of this episode. This is a noun from 1964. 1. A hold that involves strong choking pressure applied to the neck of another. 2. Absolute dominance or control, as in, had a chokehold on the city's finances. Don't do this to somebody unless they are attacking you. Don't just randomly do a chokehold on somebody. It's not a good thing. Next is choke off. 2 words, transitive verb from 1818. To bring to a stop or to an end, as if by choking. Next is choke point. 2 words, noun from 1944. A strategic narrow route providing passage through or to another region. It's very strategic. Next is choker. This is the one that I thought choke chain might have said, but yes, choker makes more sense. Noun from circa 1552. One that chokes. If you are giving a chokehold to somebody, you are a choker. But also, it is number 2, something, as a collar or necklace, worn closely about the throat or neck. And the style of it could be very fun. There could be spikes coming out of it. Next is choking, with an ing, adjective from 1556. 1, producing the feeling of strangulation. Sounds great. As in, a choking cloud of smog. 2, indistinct in utterance, and this is used especially of a person's voice, as in a low choking laugh. Chokingly is an adverb. Next is choky, choky, adjective from 1579, tending to cause choking or to become choked. And we will do one more for this episode. It is a prefix, spelled 3 different ways depending on the context. It is chol or chole or cholo. Chol. Is that how, or would it be chol? We'll figure it out. Okay, so it just means bile or gall. As in, I think it's pronounced col. So as in, the example, collate, cholate, looks suspiciously like chocolate, but it's missing some letters. So this is from Greek, and which is, there's more at the word gall. Oh, the gall on that one. Okay, so our words today were choir master, choke, chokeberry, choke chain, choke cherry, choke coil, choke hold, choke off, choke point, choker, choking, chokey, and coal. I think it's coal. I don't know which one I particularly want to pick, but I guess I shall just pick the easy one, which is just choke, because all the words had it, and that has lots and lots of definitions, so it's a versatile word. Choke, choke. I don't know how to sing a song about choke. You go choke, choke. Don't give somebody a choke hold. That's all for that. Holidays today. It is Sustainable Gastronomy Day. It is International Picnic Day. So go have a picnic, although I've heard that term is racist, so try not to use that word. I think we need to come up with a better word than picnic. I don't remember the history, but ever since I learned that, I thought, I try not to use that word. It is also National Flip-Flop Day, so go put a flip-flop on your head. It is Autistic Pride Day. I think we need more than a day, but yeah, hey, be proud. I am going to be proud of my fellow people on the autism spectrum because I am the tiny, tiny bit on the autism spectrum, self-diagnosed. But yes, there are people all over the spectrum that, deserve the love and need to be proud of that because it makes them unique. In, I don't know how to say this area, Benguet, it is Foundation Day. In Azerbaijan, it is Human Rights Day. In Seychelles, it is National Day. In Cambodia, it is Queen Mother's birthday. In the UK, it is Waterloo Day. And are there any other fun holidays for June 18th? Let us scroll down this page. We said that it is National Go Fishing Day. But if just send the fish back, please. It's bad enough you got to put a hook in their face. Just go throw them back so they can live the rest of their lives peacefully. Maybe relatedly, it is International Sushi Day. I get some veggie sushi. There's a great place, maybe 30 minutes to an hour away from here, that has like 8 or 10 really great vegan sushi rolls. I love that place. I want to go get that food. Also, it is International Panic Day. Why would there be a holiday to panic? It's a day when people are required to panic. Basically, the day is a mock holiday aimed at spreading awareness for mental health issues. Okay, that's good. No matter how calm you are as an individual, International Panic Day is the day to let out your fears and panic about your worries. All right, you can panic at a picnic. That is everything for this episode and today. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.